Hey, this is Marcus Washington from the MTC Media Network, taking a look at the ACC-SEC Challenge. Yes, made for TV. ACC Big Ten, no longer a thing because of contractual reasons. That's how these things work. There are some good games on the docket, some games that jump out. At you. Obviously, North Carolina versus Tennessee, Duke and Arkansas, which I'll say this, you can tell Coach K is no longer at Duke because there is no way Duke goes to Arkansas and plays at Bud Walton if Coach K is still at Duke. That's a neutral site game, or that game's at Cameron or something, but they're not playing directly at Arkansas. Nah, that wouldn't have happened. So you can see that there are some things changing. And Miami at Kentucky, obviously Miami being in the Final Four last year, even though they don't have Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller, they still do have some guys back. Those are probably the three games that people focus on the most. For me, I have these three categories that I kind of put these games in, or two categories I put these games, well, three categories I put these games in. One of them is matchup that should have happened. This seemed pretty obvious to me. How is this not obvious? Vanderbilt at North Carolina. You would have had Jerry Stackhouse coming home to face Hubert Davis. I mean, the headlines would have been there all leading up to that game. How could you not make this one, guys? Stackhouse has done a great job at Vanderbilt. The Commodores were 22-15 last season. They had a couple of wins in the NIT. Obviously, we know Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels, this was a rough one last year. They ended up missing the NCAA tournament. And Hubert might be in a position where, I'm not saying his job is in jeopardy or anything, but what I am saying is he might need a bounce back year so his job is not in jeopardy. Game under the radar, Pitt and Missouri. Both teams are coming off of NCAA tournament appearances. I don't know in either one of the cases too many people expected that. Pitt had a couple of wins. They beat Mississippi State in the first four, and then they beat Iowa State before losing to Xavier. Missouri, they had the one win against Utah State before. Not necessarily being surprised by Princeton. I was just surprised by how easily Princeton won the game, more than anything else. But this focus on the coaches. You have Capel up there at Pitt. Can he do it again? People were shocked. They could do it even once. Can he do it? Can he do it again when people know that Pitt's coming? For Dennis Gates at Missouri, here's a guy that got an extension after one season. You know, after his name started being floating around for that open Georgetown job. So it's a situation where this game is going to say a lot about those two seasons, and more importantly, maybe give you a clue into those two coaches. The game that I would not want to miss, believe it or not, Syracuse and LSU. Matt McMahon should have LSU back in a better place this year after his first year, and he came in under tough circumstances. So they're looking to bounce back, and they shopped the portal. They got at least 6 guys out of the portal, led by Jalen Cook, who, by the way, started out at LSU, went to Tulane for 2 years. Last year, averaged almost 20 points a game. Now he is back at LSU, and obviously for Syracuse, the biggest thing is no Jim Boeheim. You have Adrian Autry up there. Obviously, people are already starting to talk about, you might see Syracuse playing man defense now, but this is going to give you a window starting over the next couple of years of what's Autry's vision for Syracuse going forward. And I'm sure some of it will be similar to Boeheim, but I'm also sure there's going to be some of it that's going to be the way he sees things and what's in his eyes. So again, can't wait for this ACC-SEC challenge, and that's my look at it. It's Marcus Washington from the MTC Media Network.